Okay, so we'll just get started. Hi, everyone, and welcome. And thank you for joining our webinar today. My name is Moria, and I am Business Development Manager at Argentum Consultants. Our discussion today will be about mobility in the automotive industry. That is within the fifth cluster of Horizon Europe funding program, which has a total of 95.5 billion euros in budget. One of the pillars of the Horizon Europe funding program is to tackle global challenges and to promote European industrial competitiveness. The program has multiple themed clusters, and today I will be sharing with you our insights on the automotive mobility cluster. The kind of R&D is eligible for such funding, the participation methods in which the companies can apply for the program's grants, and the benefits of the companies that can be achieved by applying for these programs. Before I start, allow me to give a very brief introduction of Argentum. Argentum specializes in EU research and innovation funding. The company was established in 1999 and since then has had vast experience and expertise in obtaining governmental funding for innovative technology, research, and development. We have 30 employees divided into 3 departments: strategy, business development, and a consulting and writing team. Our vision is to target innovative funding opportunities and to enhance participation and success in multinational research and innovation projects. Argentum is aligned with the EU Commission goals and works closely with the national contact points in order to deepen the understanding of EU directives, guidelines, and value chains. This is Argentum's objective: to become the leading expert in cooperation between overlapping technological sectors in the EU. The EU budgets for the years 2021 till 2027 is 1.21 trillion euros, and you can see how it is distributed in the slide in the donut chart. The first stage to funding is choosing the call proposal. When a company chooses a grant for submission, they should consider it by the following criteria. Field. Bottom up is a call that is open to all fields of technology, whereas top down would be a specific call that's aligned with the EU's agenda. They should also consider the type of funding mechanism: the European one, supported by the EU, like Horizon Europe, for example, or bilateral, which would be the technological collaboration between 2 countries, or the third option would be a national funding initiative. They should consider the type of application procedure as well, whether the submission is a single applicant or as a part of a collaborative project, a consortium. The choice should be made according to the company's needs and strategy, and while considering the success rate of each opportunity. Here, I will show you the areas of application for innovation in the mobility cluster. The transition to greenhouse neutrality by 2050, which is one of the EU's top priority, calls for acceleration in the electricity, digital, and green transitions, which are the energy and mobility sectors. For this reason, the fifth cluster of the Horizon Europe program aims to fight climate change by better understanding its causes and evolution. The call to action here is taking the energy and transport sectors more climate and environmental friendly, more efficient and competitive, smarter, safer, and more resilient. This is actionable by 3 broad concepts, as you can see in this slide. This is to go electric, to go digital, and these 2 finally contribute to the last action, which is to go green. One of the prominent research areas are innovative ways to store energy through next generation batteries. That can speed up the electrification process. Alternative fuels help to reach the decarbonization goals to improve the air quality, but there is still a lot of R&D that needs to be done in order to do the challenges posed by the differing fuels and could be used across transport modes. By going digital, it is possible to obtain smart cities and to allow for interactively and infrastructure adaptation. All these will eventually lead to a more green use of energy in the sector. The mobility cluster of the Horizon Europe program accepts a certain kind of participation method, which is through consortia. This is a collaborative project between 3 or more participants, usually from different EU states or associated countries. The first stage of consolidating consortium is to match a proposal call to company that is looking to work on an application, which aligns very well with their call. In many of these cases, the participant could be the concept leader of the consortium. After this stage, there comes the targeting of the participants who will work on the application that will work with our supplement, the application of the concept leader. The contributing participants come from different areas of expertise to work with their developments, yet aiding the development of the application or of the concept leader. Finally, a consortium coordinator is assigned to the whole project. This could be one of the participants in some cases, and in others, it is an external entity. It is up to the coordinator to target partners and to lead the procedure with the European Commission. This being said, there are other funding sources that allow for single applicants to participate. Before sharing with you the real value which is beyond the funding, I would like to present a few different funding opportunities that are available for the mobility industry. The funding mechanism differs across funding opportunities, and the budget per project changes according to each program. There are bottom-up opportunities, which are open call for all kinds of technological innovations, including R&D and field of automotive mobility. The fifth cluster of Horizon Europe, the Eurostars program, and the EIC Pathfinder all require consortium in order to participate, whereas the EIC Accelerator is a single applicant project. On the right side of the slide, you can see two examples of top-down funding opportunities, which are programs that focus on specific area of expertise or require innovation to answer a certain need. The LIFE program has a generous budget, as you can see, whereas the startup prize does not offer monetary value, but rather gives the winning companies greater recognition in the automotive industry, as well as special access to events, experts, and officials that are prominent in the field. All of these programs are especially keen on startups to focus on R&D in the areas of data-driven solutions, mobility platform and services, and connected infrastructure in the smart cities towards 2030. It is highly important to understand the value beyond the funding. For one, EU-funded projects are facilitators of good collaborations. They immensely help to bridge gaps with other partners, especially from the different European states. This also opens the path to collaborations in research, including external performance review. The world's major OEMs, original equipment manufacturers, and tier one manufacturers are taking part in over 730 different projects supported by the mobility cluster of Horizon Europe program. This means good funding for pilot projects, which eventually positions some of the qualified technologies as groundbreaking. Lastly, Horizon Europe, by the extension of all funding opportunities of the EU government, are highly competitive and prestigious programs which would raise the rating of any company that wins their grants. Here is a slide showing some of the top OEMs that are participating in the numerous projects of the mobility cluster supports. Currently, there are 730 projects available in which these brands are taking part in. These major companies are always on the lookout for startups in the automotive industry. This is why we believe that taking part in these projects can greatly increase potential strategic collaborations for the startups. As to our proposition, we know that the abundance of funding opportunities out there can become challenging to navigate because of the complexity that is part of the submission process. In addition to the many details and guidelines that every funding opportunity initials, we have developed a unique method to increase our clients' access to funding while minimizing their efforts. We call this our multi-submission approach, which says in a nutshell, submit to one, submit to all. By following this method of submission, our strategists and consultants would be able to get a firmer grasp of the activity of your company, especially your technology. This allows us to write better submission proposals because we gain more depth of knowledge. Moreover, a submitting company which will apply to various opportunities You will have less work on you, be it financially or in terms of manpower, because we will work with you, with your technology, and tailor it to fit multiple proposal calls. Lastly, this method immensely raises your chances of winning funding. I will give you a moment to take a look at the procedure process from the strategic point. This slide offers an overview of our proposal preparation process. The initial step starts with a kickoff meeting, which is followed by the work of a strategist who is in charge of finding proposal calls that are relevant to the activity of your company. This then moves on to the second stage, which is to consolidate a consortium, if the program requires more than one participant, of course. Otherwise, the process goes on to the coordination process, which is done by our development team. Finally, it reaches the consultants who write the proposal and submit it online after the revision of a team leader. It is important to point out that the process is always adaptable as long as a long-term client. We are always on the lookout for new publications that open up and to the inner strategy of your company. Later today, our marketing team will send you a follow-up email with a list of questions. Please answer as many of them as you can so we can properly evaluate your company and recommend an appropriate program for your activity.